Huge blow for Latifi after insane De Vries announcement. It goes without saying that Latifi is one of the biggest liabilities currently on the grid, and as if we needed more proof prior to the De Vries debut, the Dutchman came and absolutely demolished Latifi in his first career race ever. The fact that De Vries drove the Williams car just 1 hour on Friday, prior to him suiting up and replacing Albon, as he went to finish P12 and enter Q2 while Latifi was eliminated in Q1, is just adding more to the narrative that Latifi's spot may very soon be gone. But is there a real possibility that De Vries will replace Latifi in Williams? If not, will Latifi stay in the British-based team? Also, what are some other options that Williams are considering for the Canadian's replacement? All of these and much more will be explained in our video, so don't go anywhere. Nicholas Latifi has joined Williams F1 in 2020, and a huge part of his signing goes to his father's company, Safina. Safina is the current sponsor of Williams, and thanks to its financial boost for the team, Williams was able to make it through the tough times of 2020 and 2021. That is why Nicholas was able to keep his seat for so long, but now that Williams has new ownership, it's less likely for them to depend on the investments of Safina that much compared to the past. On top of that, Albon has proven that the car can score points, and so did De Vries in his first outing with Williams. So it's not something that should surprise us if we see Latifi gone sooner rather than later. To just show how bad he is, Latifi was out-qualified 13-2 to Albon and outscored 12-3 during the races. Remember that one of these 3 finishes that Latifi was able to outscore Albon is Silverstone, where Albon crashed and was taken to the hospital. Not that this is Latifi's fault, just explaining the situation. Latifi's best grid start was in that very same race in Silverstone, where he managed to enter Q3 and qualify P10. Nevertheless, he finished P12, even though 6 competitors, including his teammate, have finished the race prematurely. The fact that Latifi still hasn't scored points in the season is really frustrating, and former F1 champion Damon Hill has had enough of the Canadian's lack of performance, as he said, "I'm sorry, but this is the way it is." In this case, Nicolas hasn't got the pace he needs to stay in that position in Formula 1. He's had some good moments, but along comes a guy who's not even driven in the Grand Prix before, and he's done a fantastic job, said Hill, who then went on to praise De Vries, the potential replacement of Latifi. "I know he had grid penalties and stuff like that, which helped him up the grid, but he still delivered in qualifying and didn't really make a mistake. He's done enough for us to be talking about him. He's got Wolf talking about him. That's what you need to do to become a Formula 1 driver," finished Hill. Jost Capito, Williams' principal, spoke about Latifi's performance prior to the Belgian GP, saying that the Canadian has found some form and that if he can manage the braking points better or to find more pace during the race day, his place could be secured for the 2023 season. However, after we've seen what De Vries can do in that very same car, it's evident that Capito has changed his opinion when it comes to Nicholas Latifi, as he added, "He did an absolutely outstanding job, and I rate him extremely high. That's why my expectations are extremely high, and he overfulfilled these. It's so difficult to get in that car to race for 2 hours and do the qualifying and not doing any mistakes and not driving on its own. He had to defend, he had to attack, he had to get lapped and not doing a mistake. Then he had to do the pit stop in just so complicated. It's an outstanding job," said Capito, who also spoke about the contractual situations of De Vries. "I don't know, you have to ask him what his contractual situations are. You've just seen how messy it can be, and we are not known for being messy. I'm not doing hypothetical things, so I'm only interested in facts. If the facts are there, then there might be solutions," finished Capito. Some strong words from Capito there, don't you think so? But now it seems like De Vries' future is far beyond Williams' hands, as the Dutchman will likely sign with Alpine, and therefore Gasly will be allowed to sign with Alpine, something that would be a dream for the Frenchman. Is this a real possibility? Of course that it is. Red Bull plans to make an all-Dutch starting lineup from 2024 and beyond, with Perez potentially retiring or stepping down in AlphaTauri if the team decides to not extend the contract with him. By that time, De Vries will have 2 years to learn how to drive the AlphaTauri car, and we pray to God that his debut will be the opposite of Gasly, or something similar to Russell in Mercedes. Although every Red Bull fan loves Verstappen, it wouldn't be bad for the sport if we saw some competition inside the team. But what does De Vries say about his future? I wouldn't build my future on solely hope and on the volatility of this paddock, but at the same time, it is a dream I'd like to fulfill, and I also think I deserve an opportunity. So I will be judging the opportunities carefully in the upcoming time, and then, decide what is ultimately best for my career. I don't have a management, not really, officially as such, but time will tell. I don't know. It's out of my hands. It's not in my control. Obviously, it's a dream, and I think I would deserve a chance, but ultimately, it's not up to me to decide driver lineup. I mean, I don't have to sell myself. I've won certain things. I've been given the opportunity to participate in some of the FP1s. I deserve a chance. But it's not always just about what you've shown or what you've done. You need a bit of momentum. The timings needs to be right. There needs to be a place. It's just purely based on what you've done in the past. Finished De Vries. On the other hand, we need to talk about what is next for Williams. It seems like they will have to let go of the driver that scored 33% of the points they have in the championship now, just in one race. But what are they planning for the future? They do have one driver in F2 that could be ready to suit up for the 2023 season, and that is Logan Sargent. He is currently under Williams Academy, and with one race remaining in the F2 season, he needs to hold on and battle for the P3 seat that he is currently holding, or at least finish in the top 5. If he fails to do so, he'll end up without his super license, as the ultimatum says that a driver needs to finish in the top 5 in F2 to qualify for a super license. Currently, his seat is threatened by at least 5 drivers below him. One of them is Jack Doohan, who will be called for the Alpine test in Hungaroring prior to the Singapore GP. Why are we mentioning Doohan? Well, it's very likely that Alpine will try to push a deal with Williams for Doohan, the same way they did for Piastri. But now that other options are available for Williams, such as taking a driver of their own academy, it's very unlikely that this situation will happen, unless the team decides to take Renault's engines from 2023 and beyond. Speaking about placing a rookie in Williams, Capito said, "There's a good choice of drivers. It's a good choice of young drivers. There's still some experienced drivers there as well. And so I think it's quite different philosophies, different strategies. And in the situation of the team, we can work on different strategies. We are not so much in the front that we need 2 experienced drivers, so we can experiment a bit and get young drivers in. So we'll see what turns out to be best. Either we think he's, Sargent, ready and he's capable or not. He could do another year in F2 or whatever," finished Capito, who stressed that the only factor that will predominate over Williams taking Sargent as Latifi's replacement or not will be his skill, not his nationality. With that being said, what do you think is next for the Canadian driver? Do you think that he is finally gone for good from the sport, and we'll have a more compacted grid with different drivers scoring points from 2023 and onwards? Let us know in the comments below.